In the vast expanse of the Wild West, amid dusty trails and towering mountains, there roamed a prospector named Jake. He was not just any man. He was a figure carved by the harshness of the land. His face was weathered, marked by deep lines from countless days spent under the relentless sun. Streaks of dirt clung to his skin, and his scraggly beard only added to his rugged charm. Dressed in a faded, worn hat and boots that had seen better days, he moved with a tenacity that spoke of a man on a mission. Jake had one goal: to find gold. The thrill of striking it rich called to him like a siren's song. Each morning, he would rise before dawn, eyes filled with hope and determination. He believed that fortune lay just beyond the next hill or hidden in the next creek bed. With his trusty pickaxe slung over his shoulder and his pan at the ready, he was always searching for that glimmer of gold that could change his life forever. However, Jake was not alone in this unforgiving land. Many sought the same treasure, and danger lurked around every corner. Yet, despite the risks, his unwavering spirit drove him forward. He knew that finding gold would require more than luck. It required grit, perseverance, and perhaps even a little adventure along the way. Little did he know, this day would be filled with more than just dreams of gold. It would test his courage like never before. As Jake continued his quest for gold, another figure lurked nearby, the snake-bit cowboy named Slim. Once a proud and skilled wrangler, Slim had a reputation for bravery and quick reflexes. However, on this fateful day, he found himself in a perilous situation. While riding through the rugged terrain, Slim stumbled upon a rattlesnake coiled near a sunlit rock. In a moment of distraction, he reached down to inspect something glimmering just beyond the snake's reach. The snake struck with lightning speed, sinking its fangs deep into his leg. The venom coursed through his body like wildfire, leaving him weak and disoriented. His trusty horse, recognizing the danger, bolted away, leaving Slim alone in the unforgiving wilderness. Clutching his leg in agony, he struggled to remain conscious as the heat of the day bore down upon him. His once lively spirit felt dimmed by fear and pain. Hours passed, and hope seemed to slip away like water through his fingers. Just when it appeared that he might succumb to the wilderness, fate intervened. As Jake wandered closer, searching for gold or perhaps an adventure worth telling, he noticed Slim's condition from a distance. The sight of the cowboy crumpled on the ground stirred something deep within Jake, a sense of duty and camaraderie that would lead him to take action and change both their destinies forever. As Jake approached Slim, he could see the desperation etched into the cowboy's face. The sight of the once mighty wrangler now crumpled on the ground stirred something deep within Jake, an instinct to help. Despite the scorching sun and the dangers lurking in the unforgiving terrain, Jake felt an undeniable urgency. He understood that time was not on their side. Every moment wasted could bring Slim closer to collapse. Jake weighed his options quickly. The rugged wilderness around them was fraught with perils, from rattlesnakes to treacherous ravines. Yet, leaving Slim behind was not an option. The bond between men in such harsh conditions often transcended fear. They had to look out for one another. With a deep breath, Jake decided to approach Slim carefully, scanning their surroundings for any threats while maintaining his focus on helping the injured cowboy. Kneeling beside Slim, Jake assessed the situation. The venom from the snake bite was already taking hold, and Slim's face had grown pale. Without hesitation, Jake gently lifted Slim onto his back, ignoring the strain it put on his own tired muscles. The weight of another man felt like an added challenge, but it also ignited a fierce determination within him. "I'll get you to water," Jake reassured him urgently as he began to make his way toward the creek. With each step, the risk of his own safety faded into the background. Rescuing a fellow man became his sole purpose in that moment. With a firm grip, Jake hoisted Slim onto his back, feeling the cowboy's weight shift as he adjusted to the challenge. Each step was a test of endurance as they began the journey toward the creek, an oasis of hope amidst the harsh landscape. The sun blazed overhead, casting long shadows on the parched ground, and with every stride, Jake felt the heat sapping his strength. Navigating through rugged terrain proved difficult. Sharp rocks jutted from the earth like hidden traps, and brush scratched at their legs as they moved. Jake focused on maintaining his balance, determined to keep Slim secure while avoiding potential hazards. Every now and then, Slim grimaced in pain, reminding Jake of the urgency of their mission. "Just hold on, Slim," Jake encouraged, pushing himself forward. They came across a narrow ravine that separated them from the creek. With no time to waste, Jake scanned for a safe way across. Finding a series of large boulders jutting out from the ravine's edge, he carefully maneuvered himself and Slim over each one, heart racing with each leap. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the tree line where the cool sound of flowing water beckoned them closer. The sight filled Jake with renewed energy, driving him onward despite fatigue weighing heavily on his limbs. He knew that relief was just a few more steps away, a place where he could help Slim recover and perhaps even discover something golden along the way. At last, after what felt like a grueling trek, Jake and Slim emerged from the thicket into a small clearing. Before them lay the creek, its water sparkling like 1,000 diamonds under the bright sun. The gentle flow danced over smooth stones, creating a soothing sound that filled the air. For both men, it was as if a weight had been lifted. The sight of the cool water was a promise of relief and hope. Jake carefully set Slim down on a soft patch of grass near the bank, glancing around to make sure they were safe before kneeling beside him. "Here it is, Slim," he said, his voice filled with urgency and encouragement. "Take a sip. This will help." He cupped his hands to draw the cool water and brought it to Slim's lips. As Slim took the first sip, a look of bliss washed over his face, and for a moment, the pain seemed to ease. The creek symbolized not just hydration but rebirth. It was a firmer footing in their terrible journey, promising strength and healing. As Slim rested against the soft grass, Jake filled his pan with water, thinking not only of the immediate relief it provided, but also what might lie beneath its surface. With renewed energy coursing through them both, Jake glanced at the nearby bank where the sunlight caught something gleaming in the sand. An unexpected excitement bubbled up within him, teasing the hope of discovering something precious in this moment of salvation. As they rested by the creek, Slim's senses began to sharpen. The cool water had revived him somewhat, but his mind remained clouded by the aftermath of the snake bite. He leaned back against a rock, trying to catch his breath, when something caught his eye, a glint in the sand just a few feet away. A spark of curiosity ignited within him, pushing aside the pain that still lingered in his leg. Slowly, Slim's hand moved toward his pistol, instinct taking over as he reached for it. Though he was still weak, the sight of that mysterious shimmer piqued his interest and awoke a flicker of the rugged cowboy spirit he thought he had lost. He squinted against the sunlight reflecting off the water and focused on the source of the glimmer. "Jake," he croaked, his voice hoarse but filled with urgency. "Look over there." His finger pointed toward the small shining object barely visible beneath the surface of the sand. It was no ordinary stone. It promised something more. Jake turned his gaze from Slim to where the cowboy indicated. The moment felt electric, as if fate were teasing them with an unexpected reward after their grueling ordeal. With renewed determination, Slim pushed himself up slightly and steadied his aim with the pistol. He couldn't ignore this opportunity. It felt like a chance for redemption and adventure that could change their fortunes forever. With a steady hand, Slim lifted his pistol and pointed toward the glimmering object in the sand. As he drew closer, excitement coursed through him, pushing aside the remnants of pain from his snake bite. There, half buried beneath the sandy surface, lay a small gold poke, its warm hue shining bright under the sun. The pouch was leather-bound, worn yet sturdy, and it exuded the promise of wealth and fortune. "Jake, look at this!" Slim exclaimed, his voice filled with disbelief and joy. As Jake approached, he could hardly contain his excitement either. They had both faced the harshness of the Wild West, but this moment felt like a turning point, a reward for their fervent struggle against the challenges they had endured. Slim carefully opened the poke, revealing not only gold coins, but also shimmering nuggets that caught the light and sparkled like stars. "This could change everything for us," he mused, breathless at the sight. For a moment, they stood together in awe, realizing that their fortunes had shifted dramatically from the brink of despair to abundant possibility. The weight of their earlier struggles seemed to lift as hope surged within them. With this unexpected discovery, they envisioned not just survival but opportunities for a new beginning, perhaps even starting anew in a better place far away from the dangers they faced. The gold poke represented more than just wealth. It symbolized resilience, friendship, and the adventures waiting just beyond the horizon. With the gold poke now in their hands, Jake and Slim exchanged excited glances, their minds racing with possibilities. "What do you think we should do with this?" Jake asked, his voice tinged with awe and anticipation. Slim, filled with gratitude for both the find and Jake's earlier assistance, pondered for a moment. "I reckon we could trade some of this for supplies," Slim suggested, his eyes gleaming with newfound hope. "But we should also keep a part of it for ourselves. We've earned it after everything we've been through." Jake nodded, appreciating Slim's perspective. The struggles they faced together had forged a bond between them that was stronger than gold. As they sat by the creek, dividing the treasures, Slim suddenly paused and looked at Jake, a serious expression crossing his face. "You saved my life today, partner. I wouldn't be here without you." He extended a hand, and Jake clasped it firmly, feeling the weight of their shared experience deepen their friendship. "Likewise," Jake replied with a warm smile. "It's not just about the gold. It's about what we can achieve together." They both realized that this journey had turned them from strangers into allies. In that moment of cooperation and gratitude, they felt empowered not only by the discovery but also by their camaraderie. Together, they planned their next steps, excited about the adventures that awaited them on the horizon, fueled by hope and the spirit of partnership that had blossomed in the Wild West. As Jake and Slim settled by the creek, reflecting on their incredible journey, a deep understanding blossomed between them. The challenges they faced had tested not only their physical limits but also the strength of their bond. The moments of fear and uncertainty, like when Jake carried Slim through rocky terrain or when Slim battled the pain of the snake bite, allowed them to witness each other's resilience in ways they had never imagined. "You know," Slim began, breaking the silence, "before today, I thought I could handle everything on my own, but I saw how you stepped up for me." His voice was sincere, filled with gratitude as he recalled how Jake had risked his own safety to help him. Jake nodded thoughtfully. "I learned something too. When you're in the Wild West, there's not just danger lurking around every corner. There are also good folks willing to stand by you." Their eyes met, and in that moment, a shared recognition of trust solidified their friendship. They realized that friendship is forged in adversity. Each grueling step toward the creek and every breath taken amidst uncertainty had woven their lives together in a way neither could have anticipated. As they planned their next moves, fueled by dreams of adventures yet to come, they understood that whatever challenges awaited them in the future, they would face them side by side. Together, they had discovered that true companionship means lifting each other up during tough times and celebrating newfound hope amidst hardship. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the creek, Jake and Slim sat side by side, reflecting on their extraordinary day. Their journey had begun with uncertainty and peril, yet it had led them to an unexpected treasure that would change their lives forever. This adventure taught them that sometimes the greatest rewards come from the challenges we face along the way. Their experience highlighted the importance of perseverance. Each step they took through rugged terrain tested their strength and resolve, but they never gave up on one another. They learned that adversity can reveal inner strengths and spark connections between people that were previously unimagined. The snake bite and the journey to the creek served as reminders that life's challenges often lead to profound lessons about friendship and trust. Slim and Jake realized that their newfound wealth was not just in gold but in the bond they had forged together. They had faced danger with courage and now looked forward to future adventures filled with promise. The Wild West was vast and full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and they were eager to explore it together. With hearts full of hope, they understood that this was only the beginning. While challenges were inevitable, they could embrace them as opportunities for growth and discovery. As they packed their supplies and prepared for whatever lay ahead, they knew that together they could conquer anything, proving that sometimes unexpected challenges can lead to wonderful surprises beyond imagination.